Okay, this is weird even for Mario standards. How's it going, everyone? It is your boy, Frosty R&B, the Frostman himself. In today's video, we're going to be going over Super Mario Manga Mania, story and art by Yukio Sawada, and of course, published by Viz Media. With that being said, let's get started. To understand the Super Mario Manga Mania book, we first need to look at its history. Due to the fact that this book is actually a collection of weird gags from a well-known series in Japan known as Super Mario Kun, a long-running manga series that first started around the early 90s, and to this very day, it's still being written, which is amazing. And as of this recording, there's about 50 volumes. Now, you may be asking, why haven't we gotten any localized translated versions of the Super Mario Kun manga series if it's so popular in Japan? Why haven't we got them in the West? And I've done some research. However, they're not exactly official statements. The first probability could be Super Mario Kun manga series falls under a category known as gyagu. And what gyagu just means is it's a running joke slash gag. For an example, there's a show called Shin-chan. Shin-chan is viewed to be a family-friendly cartoon, but when translated to the West, it was deemed as inappropriate, showed too much nudity, and it was broadcast only on Adult Swim. Why is that? Shin-chan is viewed to be family friendly in Japan because those gags where Shin-chan just shows his butt or other parts in public, even to the point where he shaved his dad's eyebrows, is deemed as really funny in Japan. Here in the West, we are too controlling with censorship, or at least in North America. That itself violated so many media guidelines for it to be broadcast for children's entertainment to the point where they just moved it to Adult Swim. However, Adult Swim, even though Shin-chan was broadcast there, it didn't perform that well. And of course on screen, you'll be seeing like other gagyu cartoon slash manga that we never got in the West. Thus, leads to my second reason. Exposure. Now, when I did research for the Super Mario Kun manga series, I came across two languages it was translated for, Spanish and French. So why was the Super Mario Kun manga series translated into French and Spanish, but not in English? And that goes back to the first point with the media guidelines and the censorship. Here in the United States of America and Canada, gagyu content isn't really that popular in terms of like a normal casual everyday person looking for some entertainment. However, in Spain and France, gagyu content has a huge cult following, and that could be another reason why it was translated to just Spanish and French and no English whatsoever. Now, is North America gonna completely sever gagyu content? I would dare to say no. It's due to the fact that there is a character named Nabbit who looks exactly like Bacteriamon from Anpanmon, which of course belongs into another gagyu cartoon. It's much older, but the designs are very similar to each other. Also, let's not forget about Super Mario Maker 1 for the Wii U. Why am I bringing up a Wii U title at a time like this? It's due to the fact that there is a customized level for Super Mario Kun that was officially distributed by Nintendo. Now, unfortunately, Nintendo did discontinue those servers. However, if you do have a chance to play that level, play that Super Mario Kun level. It's actually really fun. Let's officially jump into the manga book now that you know some history about Super Mario Kun, the manga series. Immediately looking at the manga cover, we can clearly see Mario Kun looking all happy coming out of the warp pipe. It is worth noting that the manga material is actually mostly matte black finish, some hybrid of glossiness with Mario Kun and the textures. Of course, story and art by Yukio Sawada, he's a legend, and published by Viz Media. And of course, this is a Nintendo official licensed product. Mario Kun weirdly falling at a strange angle, and we have the rest of the Mario cast with Bowser looking like the clown the most. And I don't know what's going on with Toad right there. Of course, since this is a manga book, one must read from right to left instead of left to right. Otherwise, Viz has to put this, and this is how you read a manga. Opening up the manga, we immediately notice that it's only black and white. That's typical of manga because it's easier to read on the eyes, in my personal opinion. However, opening up the second page, we clearly see some really interesting drawings. And what I mean by that is that the art style reminds me of a lot of Anpanman, which is still a classical art style in Japanese media. Now we have the chorus Mario, Toad, Luigi, all looking all happy, but then we have Yoshi, who's being drawn, but looks like he's being suffocated. That already is a Gag content right there. In the beginning of the video, I did mention that Super Mario Manga Mania is based off of the weird gag compilation of the hit series in Japan, Super Mario Kun. Now, Nintendo didn't handpick these chapters for this book that we're talking about today. As a matter of fact, Yukio Sawada actually handpicked these because these are his favorite gag chapters he wrote throughout his career years. Unlike my manga videos in the past, where I cover mostly 2 volumes, in this video we're only going to be covering 2 gag chapters, which are actually really short, and of course Special Stage, which is a very important chapter to talk about due to the fact that it has a parental rating. However, the message that this chapter has is very important. And of course, we'll cover the bonus stage chapters at the end of the video. But for those who are curious what games are inside this compilation, believe it or not, they're mostly spin-offs. For example, we have the first gag, Paper Mario 64. We have 3 Sunshines, which is one of the worst selling Mario games of all time for console, but it's a very good game by the way. Partners in Time, 2 Super Paper Marios, Galaxy 1, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and of course we had this special stage and 2 bonus chapters. So we're going to be looking at stage 2, the super sad red coin tail. The main reason why I'm picking this one for the video is due to the fact that this chapter might be a better illustration on how to describe Gag comedy. At the beginning of the chapter, or rather for this case, gag, we can see at the very bottom of the page, this chapter is based off Super Mario Sunshine. It gives us some summary overview of the game. To be more specified, this gag chapter takes place in Bianco Hills. We have Mario just cleaning up. He can't get rid of all this goop because it keeps coming. And he's being chased off of an enemy called Strolling Stew, which are like pretty much the Goombas of this level. Mario's getting really angry because Strolling Stew keeps polluting. Mario's being like a really weird cheeky face right here. He's gonna try to wash away the enemy. Strolling Stew pulls out the victim card and the pity card. Why? He mentions that he needs 8 red coins because his sister, his beautiful sister, he tells Mario in great detail, she is falling ill and he needs the 8 red coins to pay for his sister's sickness, which is pretty odd to me because red coins don't really hold that much monetary value. He becomes a horny idiot who buys in the whole beautiful story and he decides to go search for their 8 red coins. How nice of Mario, right? Like right here, my sister is beautiful who won the Miss Bianco Hills contest. Stu Flood calls him out saying, you only care about the good looking sister. You may notice in this chapter, it says Yukio's special notes. It tells you about his, his chapters, his skits, and his writing of various different volumes throughout the years. You may notice there's Starlo. Starlo first appeared in Bowser's Inside Story of Mario and Luigi series. And I really like this illustration because Starlo, even though he's a little bit annoying, I still liked him as a character. Mario decides to gather the 8 coins, and if you may notice, Flood randomly becomes a rooster for Rocket Nozzle. And if you guys don't get it, this is a pun. Rocket Nozzle, Rock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah, it's a terrible pun, but it's actually kind of funny. So Mario ventures forward, collects all the 8 red coins. Of course, villagers interfere, saying, why are you helping with the enemy? Get back to cleaning. And only to find out, Mario did indeed collect all 8 red coins. Strolling Stews just says, you dummy, I tricked you. It was all a lie from the start. And that's his real sister. Here's the thing though. Except you doofus, those coins are all fake. The real red coins are over here. And if you guys don't know, this gag right here, Mario was all tired from searching all the red coins and it restored itself. That's pretty much it. But here's the problem though. Mario used the Piantas to help him in his quest, so he's gonna get clobbered by the residents. And of course, the enemies from Bianco Hills tells him the exact same gag joke as Strolling Stew did, and Mario's not going to fall for that. So that's pretty much one good example of what a gag comedy might be. And let's go ahead and cover the next chapter. Moving on to stage 4, final battle against a well-armed enemy. Immediately we can tell this is the final boss fight because this is based off of Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. It is my least favorite game of that series. However, I really enjoyed this chapter because of the weird puns and gags that they pull in this chapter. The baby Mario Bro twins calling the Shroom Princess Big Octopus. And you can clearly see the illustration of the octopus Japan's best, which is actually really funny. They continue on battling and battling. Mario says a very terrible pun right here. Oh yeah? I'll give you 10 tentacles. Shroom Queen, a princess, is like, what? This is the older one, by the way. Get it? I said tentacles. Lols. And then, of course, Princess pokes him right inside the butthole. Now, this is a very good example of gag content that's really funny in Japan and Eastern audiences. However, it's seen as very vile content in North America, which is why I really hate censorship. So, of course, battle continues. Shroom Princess, of course, tries to go after Peach and tries to poke her in the butt. However, Baby Mario decides to protect her. Everyone gets pretty much grabbed. So how do they get out of this? Well, I was not expecting the next part that's coming up very soon. The Shroom Princess can't handle the baby crying, which, to be honest, neither can I. And you know what Mario does? You know, he encourages more crying, which is kind of funny. Because you would think that seeing someone cry is very petty and weak. But in this case, it saves their butt. And so they brought out, of course, the main gimmick of Partners in Time is that they use the bro's item to unleash a very powerful combo attack. They do that so they defeat the Shrooms. And the Shroom Princess sisters, they said, we're mush, big sister. And get it? Because shrooms, mushrooms. And now that's finally over, the Mario Bros future selves goes back with EGAD to their proper timeline. Hence, of course, can't stop crying, even though crying decides to save the end of the world stuff. And then we have the end of the chapter right here. Now, let's dive into the last gag chapter I want to cover. Immediately, we're greeted with a parental note stating that this final gag chapter may be upsetting for children who are sensitive to this kind of subject matter, which I really do like because Sawada knows exactly who his targeted audience is, but he still wanted to include a chapter that's very important in his career and his lifetime, which I really do respect. Special stage, Super Mario. This chapter kicks off with Mario hasn't been seen since a month ago, according to Luigi, and Toad approaches to Luigi stating that Princess Peach has been kidnapped for the millionth time. We know that running joke. And Luigi decides to take a poltergeist, which is kind of funny because this is a reference to Luigi's Mansion. And Toad states that there's no ghost of vacuum this time around. Shortly after, they bump into Yoshi. Yoshi knows where Mario is. The gang of Toads and Luigi pretty much pile drive Yoshi. And poor Yoshi, looks like he's about to be suffocated to death. I mean, imagine carrying all that weight. Shortly after, they arrive to the hospital. Now, why is Mario in the hospital? He doesn't look that bad. Like, he looks like he's in a really bad mood, but physically wise, he doesn't look that bad, right? Well, it's stated that they report the news to him. He doesn't care. He replies with a very low energy saying, I don't care about Princess Peach. So what? He shows that his hands, after 25 years of fighting, his hands are worn out, his back is worn out, he can't really do this anymore. Translating to the author's notes, Sawada is doing some self-reflecting here. As stated, he wrote this comic long ago because his father was really sick in the hospital. But shortly, his father passed away due to cancer. And because of this, it caused Sawada to lose passion. He ended up going to the hospital himself. He questioned, can he still make these comics and these gag jokes for the audience, going through the tough times? Sometimes it is true. Keeping the passion to be funny, educated, informative, etc. is one of the hardest things a content creator could do. And I agree with this. And after 25 years, he still keeps trying to make everyone laugh. That goes to show you that's some very strong passion right there. Of course, the story continues on. This is the gag comic. You're going to lose your job. all that jazz, and then Mario just needs a injection of joke spirit to lighten the mood. And so Dr. Mario, who comes in 25 years later in the future, he time traveled and gave Mario some pill. A gigantic pill, to be exact. I mean, that's a running gag right there too. And all of a sudden, Mario feels all the jolly and joys. Sawada is expecting to do this in like the 50th anniversary, 25 more years. And look at Sawada's reaction for this comic book. And so Dr. Mario did his job. He decides to go back in the future 25 years later. Mario and friends go back to their adventure. And here's another stupid pun right here, saying I did not see this ending coming, with Yoshi being a letter C, which is actually really funny. Stupid, but it's really funny. Then going into Sawada Super Secrets Part 1. This secret section tells more about his father's passing, his self-reflecting in more details. I really like this because not many people really state this in their own comic or even in their works in general. And for the fact that Nintendo allowed him to do this is a very risk-taking move, because we all know Mario is a family-friendly mascot, right? But they allowed Sawada to do this, which is a very strong approval, and I really like this. Lastly, we have Sawada Super Secrets Part 2. Now, this gag is about how Sawada was not able to attend an event in 2016, so he draws Mario holding Hanma Fuda cards, which, if you guys do not know, these are game products of Nintendo's old history before they became a corporation and, of course, entering the video game industry. And he makes a gag about with Mario with a pig drawing, which is actually kind of funny because it says, look at Hana Porca Mario. You're hogging the spotlight. Already we have two puns stacking up each other with Hana Fuda cards, which is actually very clever. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Super Mario Manga Mania is a fantastic weird gag compilation from the Super Mario Kun manga series. Now, I really hope one day we get another volume of the greatest hits, or probably in the future, we could get a localized, officially translated English versions of the Super Mario Kun manga series. I would really love to see that come to light today. Now, who is this book for, ladies and gents? If you're a big fan of Mario, if you're a weeb like myself who enjoys Japanese humor, and of course, children who love Mario in general, because this book is aimed towards for a younger audience. Now, do note that even though they do have a parent's discretion note for the last chapter, I do believe it sends a very important message. No matter the most difficult times of our lifetime, we're always going to face some type of loss. The author did this due to the fact that he wanted to send a message to us readers that any hobby, passion that we have can overcome the loss and sad times we may face during our lifetime. And that's a very strong message, because that's what I'm going through right now with streaming. With that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite Mario game, and let me know why. If you liked the video, give it a like. And as always, annihilate the subscribe button. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your boy Frosty R&B. Stay chilly. Keep gaming. I'll see you all in the next one.